Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. In today's video, we are going to dive into my notebook organization. We are specifically talking about this notebook here, but I wanted to share with you really quickly how I use both of these notebooks with my overall planner. So the very first notebook that I use is this one here, and this is my brainstorming notebook. I did an entire video on this notebook and how I use this notebook, but this one is a messy notebook where I will just jot down all of the random notes that I have throughout the course of my day. I will usually just add a couple of tabs on different pages that I want to come back to, and so I do have an ideas page here with a list of video ideas, and I have some real ideas in here as well, some client meeting notes in here as well. But it's just a messy notebook that I use, and like I said, I did an entire video on this one, so if you wanted to catch that video to see exactly how I use this one on a daily basis, I will link it above and in the description box. The second notebook that I use is one that I use for longevity. This is where I will keep any notes that I need for longer than a year. With my planner, I am only keeping 1 month at a time in this planner. So my planner only has the month of March for my schedule, for my business, for my church, any reading that I'm doing, my budget. It only has 1 month in each one of these sections. So I also have another notebook that helps me with longer notes that I need that will aid with my planner for the entire year. And so this is the notebook that I wanted to share with you today and walk you through exactly how I am using it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about this notebook. The very first thing is this is a happy planner cover that I currently have on here. It is the black quilted cover, and I also have the happy planner disc. These are the classic size discs that I am using with this notebook, and when you open it up, the very first thing that you'll see is my dividers. So these dividers are from another notebook that Happy Planner had. It was their Happy Notes notebook, the one on women's power, sisterhood. That's the one that I just pulled out all of the dividers, but I didn't keep the cover. So I've divided this notebook into 3 different sections, and then I also have a bottom tab here. The very first section is business, the second section is personal, and the third section is reading. When you first flip open the business section, this section is where I keep all of my long-term notes for my business. So when I'm talking about long-term notes, I am talking about things like my mission, my vision, the overall topics that I want to talk about for my business, and staple video ideas. So these are video ideas that I will do for longevity, meaning that I could repeat and do these videos over and over again. So videos like my monthly budget with me or closing out my budget for the month. Those are videos that I will do month after month, and so I have put them on this list so that when I am brainstorming different ideas and I am looking for things that I want to put within this notebook, I can pull from this list because these are ideas that will always be relevant to my channel and things that I could talk about every single month. This is also a section where I will work on long-term projects, things like my courses or the system that I wanted to build within my business, different things that I wanted to do that are more long-term. All of that information would stay within this section of my notebook. That way, no matter what random notes I have within this notebook, because once again, I said this is a messy notebook that I'm just keeping random notes that happen on a daily basis, I can easily find whatever I am looking for, especially if it's something that will carry over from year to year if I put it within this notebook. So that's the very first section, all of the projects and the long-term notes for my business. So my mission, vision statement, branding things like my system, or video ideas that I want to do repeatedly are all within this front section of my notebook. The second section that I have in here is a personal section. And this section consists of all of the routines that I would like to complete or any personal notes that I want to have for longevity. So I will keep certain routines within my planner. However, like I said, I am switching out my planner a lot. I am taking out months and replacing them with new months. So sometimes I need a place where I can look and see what routines I currently have in place, because they may not be within the month that I currently have in my planner. So I do have different routines in here. The very first one is my morning routine. And so I have listed out everything that I want to do in the morning and the time frame that I would like to complete these items. The very next page I have is my planner routine. Now this is my morning planner routine. And as you can see on my morning routine, I do have planner routine right here, where I have listed out at the 8 a.m. hour that this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. And then I have the morning planner routine here that tells me all the things that I should be doing within this time frame. And this is 5 steps that I will do every single morning within my planner routine. And then the very next page, I have my evening routine. And with my evening routine, it starts at 5:30, it ends at 10 p.m. and I have the list of things that I want to complete. Within here, I do have my skincare routine, my cleaning routine, and then I have an evening planner routine. And so when you flip the pages, you'll see my evening planner routine, which consists of 3 steps. I also have my skincare routine in here, which consists of 6 steps, and I have the cleaning routine that I would like to complete on a daily basis. Now, I do have my cleaning routine tracker within my planner. So if you go into my planner, you will see that I do have my house cleaning routine within this section as well. But this always starts off as a blank page. So I can always decide what I'm going to be cleaning throughout the course of the week, because it's always a blank page. And then I always have my daily things listed at the top. And then I will list out the rooms that I would like to clean for the week. But usually I am pulling this list from this routine of what I would like to do on a daily basis. And then anytime I want to change my overall routine, or I feel like it's not working for me, this is where I will change it. And then whenever I am adding it to this sheet, this just allows me to track if I'm actually completing these activities every single day. So if I did it, it's usually in blue. If I didn't do it, it's in purple. And as you can see, I will have some blue and some purple throughout the course of the week. This is the way that I'm able to stay on top of my overall cleaning and just figuring out if I'm doing all the things that I said I would do. Now, if I have a bunch of purple throughout the week where I am not completing these tasks, then usually I will reevaluate my routine. I will say, okay, there is a reason why I am unable to complete these things. So let me look at the routine. Is there something that I could be doing differently, or why am I not completing it? And so that process happens within this section of my notebook, where I am able to like evaluate and just figure out what's going on. So with my evening routine, I have all of the other routines listed out, and then I have them all listed out here so that I can flip through it, and then I'm able to make sure that I'm doing everything that is on this list. The next section that I have within my personal section is a bottom tab, and this was a video that I did last week, and it was on my monthly goals. So I also add my monthly goals within this notebook, where I will list out all the goals that I would like to complete for the month. Now, this is new for me. At first, I was doing quarterly goals, and I talked about that in my brainstorming notebook video where I talked about how I would set up my quarterly goals and complete my quarterly goals. And recently I just switched that process from quarterly goals to monthly goals and pulling them out of this notebook and keeping track of them in this notebook to putting them into this notebook. The reason why I took them out of my brainstorming notebook is because I was losing track of them. I had tabs where I would keep track of what the goals were, but as I was trying to process and develop habits and really write down the different things that was happening, I found myself really losing track of all of that information because this notebook is such a messy notebook. So what I decided to do instead is move it over to this notebook and really write out, add stickers, make it pretty so that I could really see all of the activities and all of the goals that I wanted to complete for the month. So this is just the place where I am writing down the goal, but it is not the place where I'm keeping track if I actually completed the goal. Where I keep track of how I am doing with my goal is within my planner at the very front of my planner. So this is where my March review will happen at the end of the month. So I have all my goals listed out and the habits that I want to complete in order to achieve these goals. And then I have the goals listed out here, and then I will write in at the end of the month what actually happened. Did I achieve this goal? If I didn't, I can even write myself a little note to tell myself why I believe I did not achieve this goal. So I believe that this process is going to be a little bit more together, a little bit more organized. And so that's why I decided to just completely switch. And then I will have all of my goals within this section of my notebook, and I'll be able to flip through and be able to see what were March goals, how well did I do, what were April goals, and go on throughout the rest of the year. And so that is a bottom tab within this section because it's still included in the personal section. So I just have that listed here. That way I'm just able to add and keep going all of the months of the year. The very next section that I have in here is my reading notes. So this is something new that I have started doing as well, and that is just keeping all of my reading notes of the different books that I have been reading that I want to keep track of the different things that I'm learning from them. I have been writing that within this notebook so that when I do have some extra time to actually decorate a spread dedicated to the books that I have been reading, then I can come back to these notes and be able to decorate that spread. So I haven't had a chance to really do them all, but anytime I am reading a book and I just want to write down different notes from that book, I will just jot it down in here. Now, I do have a reading section within my planner as well. At the very end of my planner, I have all of the books that I have read and then how many books I've read for a particular month. I will list out the month at the very top. So for January, I read 5 books. For February, I read 8, and then I will list out the genre and the different types of books. Now, if I'm reading a fiction book or a romance book, I more than likely will not add it into this section because those I'm just reading for fun, for entertainment. But if the book is on productivity or money or habits or something that I believe I could teach later on, I will add that within this section of my notebook. And this is the last section that I have within this notebook. After this, I just have paper. I have blank dotted paper in the back, and in the middle, I also have some lined paper in case I wanted to write down anything. At the very rear, I do have a folder and I have some stickers back here so that I can just keep track of different things. But that is it. Now, I have played around with the idea of possibly using this notebook as a brainstorming notebook as well, but I don't think I'm going to end up doing it. I think that I just like the fact of having this small little notebook that I can throw in my bag and write random things in. I feel like once it becomes a disc-bound notebook, I just want it to be neat. I don't know why. something about it being on disc and being this type of paper. I feel like the paper is too nice to just be scribbling on, especially because it's Happy Planner insert paper. And I know that I have to pay for this by the pack. So I don't usually like to just use this for scratch paper. So that's why I will usually keep this separately. I know I always get that question of why not just use this as a brainstorming notebook as well, but that's why I don't want to just scribble scratch on this paper. It's just a personal thing that I don't like. So I have this one for all of my brainstorming. I have this one for my organized notes that I have sticker paper with, and then together they aid along with my planner, and that's how I am able to stay organized and stay on top of all of the information that is coming my way, or anything that I need to locate on a daily, weekly, or annual basis. So guys, I hope that this video has helped you understand my organization system, understand how I use different notebooks and different things in order to help me to stay organized. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.